Isn't it scary how a single man is creating a future solely based on his imagination that will impact the complete human species today and tomorrow? This man's power is no joke, and ironically, we all have started seeing sanity in Elon's madness. So what is this new earthquake he has created with this statement about SpaceX and its Mars mission? Are the speculations of its failure true? Let's figure it out in this video. Welcome to the Space Journey. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update. Without any further ado, let's begin. This giant project named SpaceX was launched with the Falcon 9, a highly reliable rocket that has now completed numerous trips to the International Space Station. Surprisingly, NASA has even authorized the Falcon 9 and its Dragon capsule to transport astronauts, a first for private aerospace. To reach distant, exotic locales like Mars and the far side of the Moon, the world needs something with a little more power. That's the SpaceX Starship. Elon Musk's mega rocket is still in development, but it already has some missions lined up, ranging from history-making to silly. Elon Musk's latest project, the launch of the Crew Dragon, is now for a massive success. The astronauts, Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley, have arrived safely at the International Space Station on May 31st, 2020 without any issues, and we're now waiting to evaluate the re-entry of the spaceship. In reality, this mission is the first step towards a bigger goal, reaching Mars by 2024. But sending humans to the red planet is a much more difficult task. Nevertheless, the tech giant has claimed multiple times that the 2024 timeframe is actually possible. But is it? He echoed his ambition in December, saying he is highly confident SpaceX will launch an uncrewed rocket to the planet in 2024, followed by a crewed mission in 2026. But some experts call it highly ambitious. Greg Outry, a commercial space industry expert, told Insider that he thinks Musk will get to Mars on his own or with NASA earliest in 2029 or 2031. The window is dependent on when the Earth lines up with Mars, which is every 26 months. But Outry warned that space projects are challenging and rarely on time. And we all are aware of this fact. All of Elon's projects, from Tesla to SpaceX to the Boring Company, include extremely ambitious timeframes and usually take much longer than expected. But despite the confidence that Elon shows, Greg Outry, a commercial space industry expert, said that he thinks Musk will get to Mars on his own or with NASA in 2029 or 2031. But according to some experts, even 2030 is impossible. There are multiple reasons why this project is almost impossible in such a short time span. From dealing with the rocket to creating a viable environment for the astronauts, there are various reasons why experts think sending humans to Mars in 4 years, or even 6 from now, is still a long shot. Number 1. We don't know if our bodies will survive the flight. The time it takes for humans to reach Mars is 9 months, and as of today, no one has been able to recreate Earth's gravity in space, other than Hollywood directors, of course. The common images of astronauts flying in the International Space Station might be cool to imagine, but in reality, a microgravity environment can be detrimental to our bodies. The weightlessness makes everything effortless to do. Imagine lifting a 100 kilos box as easily as holding a feather. So cool, right? Well, not using any force has massive consequences. Your muscles can atrophy, your heart weakens, your bone structure crumbles. In a nutshell, you will end up with the body of an old lady. For the moment, we studied the effect of microgravity on the body of the astronauts of the ISS and managed to slow them down. But they are only in space for 6 months at a time. The 9 months we need to go to Mars, plus the time spent there with only a third of Earth's gravity, might be too long to slow down the effects, and some can become irreversible and lead to premature death. Pretty scary, right? Number 2. In case of an issue, help can only reach Mars every 2 years. The biggest challenge to go to the red planet is the time duration to go there and come back. The window for launch to Mars from Earth only happens approximately every 2 years and 2 months. This means astronauts leaving in 2024 won't be able to get help before 2026, when the next launch window opens and help gets there after the 9 months journey. This time window makes it even harder by creating a mission of a very long duration, which can cause tremendous physiological and psychological issues on our astronauts. Number 3. Mars's atmosphere does not protect us from solar and cosmic rays. Mars's atmosphere is only 1% as dense as Earth, and contrary to our dear home, our neighbor does not have a radiation belt to protect us from solar and cosmic rays. The consequence of this lack of protection is a longer exposure to these rays, which are deadly to the human body. Astronauts living on Mars would be subject to 50 times more radiation than humans living on Earth. This amount of radiation can create dangerous cancers. People in Australia are facing serious issues despite just little over normal radiation, and we expect astronauts to face 50 times of that. Number 4. Mars's atmosphere is not breathable. Mars's atmosphere being so thin, it does not allow the correct pressure for our lungs to breathe in the oxygen needed. Moreover, it almost doesn't contain any oxygen and not enough for us to breathe normally. This forces us, humans, to recreate a living environment indoors and only go outside with pressurized suits. Not the easiest and most comfortable way to live, right? Number 5. We still haven't figured out how to grow food in space. At the moment, astronauts in the ISS are not able to grow a sufficient amount of food to sustain themselves, even if some experiments are taking place. Every food they eat comes from Earth in a dehydrated or irradiated form. If a mission to Mars takes place, astronauts won't be able to carry with them the amount of food needed for such a long mission. Therefore, they should learn to grow their own food. If this is already hard in the spaceship in a microgravity environment, it's even harder on the surface of Mars. Its soil is alkaline and needs decontamination to be used to grow plants. And we're not even sure that'll work. Number 6. Mars's potential sources of energy are low. There is something we still haven't talked about, and that is how we will create energy on the surface of Mars. And it is much harder than on Earth. Mars is further away from the Sun, therefore solar power is only 40% as effective as on Earth, and can be even lower in cases of dust storms. Wind power won't be useful as there is almost no atmosphere, and geothermal energy won't work as Mars is much colder than Earth. Musk says he'll use abundant methane there, but that's also under suspicion that there are enough resources to produce methane there. Number 7. Deep space traveling might create dangerous psychological issues. One of the main issues discussed at NASA and SpaceX is the possible psychological issues of such a mission on the astronauts. Living in closed spaces, traveling in deep space, and not being able to see or communicate easily with Earth for such an amount of time might take hold of their mental health. As of today, no one has left our planet as far as to not see it anymore. It's hard to imagine how this will play on our astronauts' capabilities of handling pressure and risk. These are the main factors that's holding SpaceX back, and might be the reasons that SpaceX could never make it to Mars. Now, SpaceX is continually improving and innovating, yet the constant barriers slow down the process. There is a long way to go, but it has come far ahead than others. Let's see when we'll be able to see the first human to land on Mars, or if we'll ever see that happening. What do you guys think about this? Let us know in the comments below. And most importantly, if you want to be updated on every single topic related to SpaceX and space, then you should consider subscribing to the channel and pressing the bell icon. See you in the next one. Until then, peace out.